Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video. This is PSGL round number 11 around Circuit of the Americas in Texas, and we are out for our first run in Q1, and it's gonna be our only run in Q1 because there are 5 people doing a kind of last to first challenge, including Jake, but Jake thought it was a smart idea to set a lap on slicks that was 1.5 seconds faster than what we could do in inters, or maybe even a little bit more. I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly. So everyone had to go out on a set of slicks. Thank you, Jake, for wasting all of our time. But as you can see, last time out in Spa, we managed to bring home the title while we tried to do a last to first challenge. Ismail Fassi is too far behind to catch back up to us with 2 rounds to go. He's on 59 points. Alfie Butcher on 57, Thomas Ronar on 55, and our teammate Danny Bresnay on 52. And yeah, this is just gonna be a quite simple lap in Q1, not taking any risk to invalidate, because that would mean we would go out in Q1 because of Jake's lap time. And the delta is set to my intermediates, so did a lap on the intermediates, thinking that it would be enough and that we didn't have to waste a set of slicks. And yeah, went a little bit wide there on the entry, but just decided to take it very carefully, not invalidate, and across the line we go. We go P14, and that's gonna get us through into Q2. Onto our used tire run of Q2, very first lap here, and yeah, as you can expect, we're gonna go P1 on used tires. Not a lot of people set laps though, I think there are only 4 people. We were the fastest of those, and now we go on to our new set of tire run in Q2. We're gonna do another one after this, no matter what, because we've got enough tires. After only doing a single lap in Q1, across the line we go. It is P6, and yeah, as I said before, we are gonna go out again, and now finally it's gonna get a little bit more interesting. We have to nail this lap, otherwise we go out in Q2. No way that first lap is gonna be enough for a top 10 position. Usually, if you're P6 after the first runs in Q2, you have to improve again. I reckon only a top 3 is enough, and not even that is always enough. It really depends per circuit. I reckon around Kota, where it's so long, and yeah, it's quite easy to make up time due to the track evolution as we go into sector 2. Not a great first sector, missed the apex in turn 1 a little bit, but this S section was quite nice and tidy, and we go almost half a tenth up into the hairpin. A very important corner, important to not hit any of those marbles. You can't run alternative lines on this track, and it's very frustrating, because if you try and run an alternative line, or a little bit of a different racing line than what the AI does, you pick up marbles, and yeah, as you can see there, you can't even actually avoid them through there, unless you take a really wide line. But yeah, if you pick them up, you lose 2 tenths easily. You've got kind of 2 sort of marbles. You've got the little bit that we got through here. You can see it a little bit there on the left hand side, and then you got the proper one. If you get the one where it's completely covered the tires, you lose 2.5 tenths, and your lap is in the bin. It's really annoying. It's a complete joke, but we make it into Q2 nonetheless. But that also makes racing on this track very boring. You know, tire wear is quite a huge thing around Kota, especially on past games, and that's made it possible to go really long into a stint and fight back through. That's not possible anymore, simply due to the fact that when you go for an overtake, you lose 2.5-3 tenths extra, because you have to run over marbles, and that also makes overtaking a lot harder. So yeah, Cody's, I have no idea what you've done here. It's just terrible. I don't get how they have not reversed this like 2 weeks into the game cycle, but on we go then. first run of Q3. New set of tires, of course. And let's see if we can pop into the 130s here. Missed the apex there, quite a margin. Still quite a struggle to get the front end to turn in nicely into a high-speed corner on this game, on the F1 game in general. I hope they can make another step forward and make the cars a little bit more understeery, as the prime way to rotate a car nicely is just having a little bit of a micro slide into tight corners. So I hope on F124 that's gonna be resolved. As you can see there, you probably can't even see it, but there is such a tiny amount of sliding in turn 1. And yeah, if you're a top level esports driver, that's the way to go as we go through the high speed S section down to 6th gear. And we get some nice rotation through there. Very good first sector, 24.843. That's over a tenth faster than we did in our final run in Q2. And that's just in sector 1 alone. So almost 1.5 tenths up on our banker lap as Danny Beresney, our teammate, goes to provisional pole. A 130.771. Now we did a 131.011. And that means we're going to have to improve 2.5 tenths to our delta. But we're already up 1.7 tenths. So we're going to have to find 1 more tenth in this final sector to go for provisional pole position. It's a very good split going into the last sector. We go up 2.1 tenths for a brief moment into this long left-hander. Easy to lock up the left front. And we again gained a little bit of time. 2.2 tenths. We're going to have to find another half a tenth if we're going to want to go to pole position. Through the final 2 corners we go. We get the apex this time and we improve by another few hundreds. Freddie Rasmussen goes to provisional pole position. We go across the line. DRS open. It is only P3, unfortunately. However, I was quite happy with that lap. And yeah, only 100 away from our teammate Danny Beresney. Only half a tenth away from pole position. And yeah, P3 is enough to fight for the win around here. Won F1 Esports in 2021 from P3 on the grid here. I think the same actually in 2022. Also started P3 or P4, maybe P5 actually, and won the race. So it is possible, and we're gonna try and do it. We're gonna be starting on the hards, and yeah, soft medium possible around here, soft hard possible around here. As per usual, a lot of strategies possible. But we're going to find out at the end of this race what's going to be the best one for this occasion. Of course, strategy really depends on how the race goes. On traffic and safety cars and a lot of other scenarios. So let's see what everyone else around us is going to do. Freddie Rasmussen ahead of us on the softs. Everyone around us on the hards. It's going to be 5 red lights. And away we go for round number 11 of PSGL. Not a great start from us as we head into turn 1. You can see Danny defending into turn 1, so we can brake late and cover off any threat from the inside. A little bit of an incident behind us. You can see Lucas is still in P4. 2022 F1 Esports World Champion. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite battle him last year in the final 2 rounds and make it more difficult, but yeah, we're gonna try and fend them off in this race. Not just fend them off, we're gonna try and move up 2 positions. You can see Freddy pulling off into the distance on those softs, and yeah, having a dream start. No threat from behind for him at the moment. It's same for us, to be honest, but Freddy pulling off into the distance here in lap 1, already out of the DRS window. And yeah, he's just going to be focusing on driving a race as fast as possible here. He's actually building a massive gap right here in order to kind of, yeah, just pull off into the distance and try to not get catch back up. The softs are going to deteriorate over the next 10 laps. But the question is if we're going to catch back up, of course. The softs should be slower over a 12 lap stint relative to the hards, but Freddy is an incredibly fast driver.
Well, Barry and Yoni in P9 and 10 on softs as well.
If there's someone that can run into the distance and not be seen again in a race, it is Freddie Rasmussen. First stint was quite boring. Me and Danny swapped around a few times.
You should have caught up a long time ago already, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going slower than predicted.
To kind of help our pace a little bit, but as you can hear, our race engineer, we are not catching up as fast as we should. And Freddie boxing at the end of lap 12 was still 2.5, 3 seconds ahead, even though we should have at least been able to catch back up. We just didn't, and that is an issue. That is a huge issue, because yeah, we are now on the back foot for the rest of the race, and we're gonna have a big task ahead of us to catch back up to Freddie, who seems to be faster in this race, because we should have catched back up. The softs are not as good over a 12 lap stint as the hards, and he just managed to stay 3 seconds ahead, 2.5 seconds ahead. So me and Danny are gonna have to push hard here. First people have boxed from the softs to the mediums or the hards, most likely mediums, as the mediums can make it to the end from here. And now we're gonna push like hell.
Currently still happy with the ref of that for both you and Danny.
As Danny goes down the inside, we go around the outside. Again, we're just trying to maximize our pace here. In lap 13 and lap 14 now, Danny is gonna get past us again. We're not using ERS, we're just swapping around every single lap. And that way we maybe stand a chance.
Danny is slightly faster.
To
copy.
Freddie in P1.
Trying to encourage him to push more.
Although I thought the same when I was behind him. I'm thinking +1 to Delta.
Okay, it would be nice traffic if we came in.
So yeah, we are boxing here at the end of lap 14, as you can hear my engineer say there. Traffic-wise, it would be great if we box now. And that way...
should just be Brendan that we've got to interact with.
It's just a straight push towards Freddie Rasmussen. If we can catch back up, you can hear my engineer say, only Brendan is going to be the one that we have to overtake, me and Danny. And then we can just push together towards Freddie. But as we come out of the pits, that is not the scenario.
This is... I don't see how you guys think this was a good pit lap. I just need to make my own decisions again. This doesn't work at all.
And yeah, now we got basically 2 extra cars to overtake.
In the long box?
And we are in a DRS range, so...
-1.
Yeah, we are in a terrible position here. And it's just frustrating because we got called in so late. If we would only have pushed harder on our in-lap with the ERS, we would have been ahead of all this trouble, but... Me and Danny didn't get this info.
I don't get how you guys get to the point where it's just Brendan as well. There are 3 cars.
Yeah, sorry man. I can discuss after, but yeah, that's our bad.
And yeah, now suddenly we have gone from fighting for the win to
Gate 69 exit. Yoni's got 2 lap older tyres.
Trying to get back into the top 5. Because yeah, this has not been good for our race. As we are now trying to get past Yoni into the 3rd sector. As this is a great overtaking opportunity into this left-hander, but we have to be careful not to run into the back of Nicolas Longe there, and that's just frustrating. That overtake is so much easier.
Always when I listen to you guys with strategy, it just goes completely horseshit. There's no point in listening.
As yeah, that overtake is so much easier if there's no one ahead. I ran into the back of Nicolas in WR as well, trying to make that move. and now we've learned from it, and we're not trying to do it again. But yeah, this strategy call was horrible. I know there's always people in the comments saying like, oh, you shouldn't be crying, but I'm not competing in this for fun. I'm competing and driving in competitions to win. And I won the 2020 and 2021 esports championship on strategy calls that I made completely on my own. And it has been the case in the past year, 2 years, where the strategy calls of the team just haven't been good enough. I so often get into traffic after boxing where I would much rather prefer to just stay out an extra 3 or 4 laps. And yes, we have to overtake another 5 or 6 cars, but you're not overtaking cars in a DRS train when they are on 1 lap all the tires than you. It's just not possible. You need more of a DRS or tire advantage, I should say, to overtake. Unless, of course, they don't have any DRS, but that very often isn't the case. So, yeah, it's just frustrating. Because I know what I want from a strategy. And of course we discussed this.
40 exit, don't have Barry.
And this is not what I wanted. Of course, the situation is much worse due to the fact that Kota has been ruined with marbles. And that overtaking is just almost near impossible in a DRS train these days due to the marbles. And yeah, that's why you either need a very big pace advantage or you just need track position. But yeah, it was even more frustrating because we could have just avoided getting into that traffic if I would have used my ERS, if I would have known earlier that I would have had to box. But yeah, it's just frustrating. Onto the last 1.5 laps of the race we go. We did manage to get past Nicolas, as you can see there. We did tangle a little bit, but that's just the contact model being a little bit magnetic. As you can see, Brendan and Danny going wheel to wheel. We got Thomas right behind us. I think he's on similar tires to us. And Barry is on slightly older tires, maybe 2 or 3 lap older tires. But he does have a 3-second penalty, so yeah, probably not really worth it to get past him. As yeah, he's gonna drop behind us anyway. We're fighting for P4 at the moment here with the track limit penalty of Barry. We kind of just have to keep Thomas behind, who is of course incredibly fast. So 66% battery as we go into the final lap. And yeah, it's just not much I expect to happen here. We probably can't really attack Barry due to the dirty air. You can see he has a big gap ahead of him, so maybe we can do something. But I don't really want to do something. I kind of just I'm just gonna sit back and protect my P5. If we go for a move on Barry, we risk losing P4. So there's not yeah, it's just a boring last lap. And as you can hear my engineer say, Thomas on similar ERS levels as Danny and Brendan go wheel to wheel, so maybe we can snatch away a P2 if those tangle. But using our battery here on lap 28, same as Barry, same as Thomas. Could have used a little bit more there, but again, I just want to stay behind Barry to take away P4 because that's the maximum at this point. If we go for a late lunge, we might just risk P4. And yeah, we are too far away to go for a move on Brendan. We got Thomas behind us. We take a little bit of a tight line. Thomas goes for the move, but hits a Barry slightly, I think so there. And yeah, same scenario as I had with Yoni. If you go for a move there, you're just going to be stuck behind the car that's ahead of the car you want to overtake, and you can't really get a nice momentum through the corner. So P4 it is. Boring race in my opinion, but yeah, that's just down to the marbles that EA and Cody's have put in the game. Same on Barcelona. Barcelona's ruined as well for racing. I can't think of much more tracks. There are some tracks that are good, of course, like Vegas You don't get into marbles quite easily, but it's just frustrating. They need to remove it, or they have to make it properly where the marbles get formed by the racing line of the cars on track. And not to mention the grip loss is not as big in real life as well. If you hit some marbles, especially if you just go a centimeter offline, it's just ridiculous that you instantly lose 2.5, 3 tenths. The marbles have to get formed by the line that people drive in the lobby, not by some AI that drives completely random lines. So yeah, sorry for the boring PSGL video. It wasn't a good race, in my opinion. We do have Vegas next, which, in my opinion, always has a lot of chaos in league racing. So really looking forward to that one. Honestly, I love new tracks, and I'm always very biased towards them, that I enjoy driving on them. I know a lot of people don't like Vegas, but I love it. I love new tracks in Formula 1. Hope you guys will enjoy that one as much as I do. Make sure to like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.
Yeah.